Crypto is full of fear and panic right now, with all major coins now sat holding on to key areas of support, with many speculating that if the support can't hold, we're going significantly lower for those coins. But the speculation isn't because of the charts, it's because Binance has been seen selling huge amounts of Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and other coins. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means right now, and the fact that the news is covering those transactions right now. I'm going to tell you what is now imminent, and this is a signal we should be paying attention to. I'm also going to tell you that exchanges make far more money in this bull market than any of us ever will, but I'm going to tell you how you can benefit from that and how you can invest in certain narratives, one that is not often told about, to be able to see some of the biggest gains during the bull market. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's find out if it's going to get any worse before it gets better. Now guys, before I dive in and tell you about what's going on with Bitcoin and the market manipulation, I just want to update you on what happened a few days ago. Obviously, I got hacked. You watched the video. If you want to go and find out how I got hacked and avoid the same mistakes that I made, make sure you go and check out that video. Now, obviously, it's been a pretty tough weekend. Right now, we're in the process of trying to get the MEXC account back and as well carry out various investigative work on what has happened. And I just want to take this moment to say thank you to all of you who sent messages and left comments under the video, supportive messages, etc. It made the whole experience a little less painful. So thank you so much to all of you who did that. Now, enough of all that. Let's find out what's going on in crypto and find out whether we can recoup some of those losses from last week. Now, Bitcoin, what is going on and why is this situation different from the last few weeks? Well, if you're subscribed to the channel, over the last few weeks, you've seen me and others talking about the movement of funds between Binance and Wintermute. Wintermute is a market maker. Binance uses Wintermute to move funds, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, etc., off and on the exchange. It does this so that it can control the supply and demand model and effectively control the price. Why does it do this? Well, basically because they're manipulating you to try and make more money. They don't want everyone to go long, as in bet on the price going long at the same time, because if you're using heavy leverage and the price goes up and you make loads and loads of money, guess what? The exchange doesn't really make so much. It really wants you to be betting in this direction before it sends it this direction. And every time the price has been spiking up, like it has here, etc., you could have seen Binance moving lots of funds off of the exchange. But at none of these points have you been alerted to what they're doing. So why all of a sudden have you been alerted to this happening? Well, is it because everyone's now smarter by watching the videos on this channel and has now started to identify this happening? Probably not. But I think it's because of this. Cointelegraph and other major news channels are picking up on the fact that Binance has been doing it. Why are they picking up on it at this key time? Well, probably because someone and various people together, exchanges, have been letting news channels know that this has been happening. Seem familiar? Well, ultimately, the exchanges are playing a big game and the news is always a smoke screen. The news can be controlled by these exchanges who want to leak information to you at any given point. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay, but the fear and the sentiment right now in the market at a point that looks very ominous, if we're honest, for what Bitcoin is doing right now, is pretty indicative that there is fun and games being played. Remember, big money doesn't want you to make the right decision. Big money wants you to make the wrong decision. So what are they trying to get you to do? Well, they're trying to get you to think that this is going to happen, when really, given the news, given the sentiment in the market right now, this is more than likely the next move. I think worst case scenario, we get a fake out like this and that happens, okay? Or like this. That would be a pretty brutal one, but I really don't suspect it's going to happen. In any way, we're actually just continuing to bounce along this area of support that we've seen through here. So I don't think there's anything too heavy to fear right now. We are still in a bull market. Liquidity still arriving in this bull market and everything is fine. So yes, maybe we see a little bit of a dip, and we're seeing it in some of the major altcoins like SUI. You can see just holding this key area of support right now. If we look into Ethereum, just holding an area of support right now. If we zoom out, we can see that it's holding this key area of support that it's been in for quite some time. Also Solana, as you can see, basically just holding this key area of support here. Okay, so as I look at it, things are not too scary. But let's have a think about what's going on in this crypto market and how we can really nail it down. You've probably been investing in AI coins and gaming coins and real world assets, and some of them have been doing better than others when the market decides to run hot, like it did basically at the end of last year. And in my opinion, you're still right to have a broad selection of different coins and different narratives, because different narrative coins run at different times. You probably are aware of this. But there's one narrative that's not so sexy, that people don't really talk about so often, that's probably the most damn obvious one of all time to be looking at, to be getting into. What is it, do you think? It's exchange tokens. The exchanges make more money than anyone else in a bull market. Why is that? Well, I want you to think about the gold rush, which happened back in the 1800s in the US and in other places around the world. Gold prices went up and everyone started to try and go and find gold around the world. But who made the most money? Was it the people digging for the gold? Probably not. It was actually the people who were selling the shovels. Okay, Wells Fargo, a famous US bank, actually originally made their money by selling tools to people going and trying to dig gold in the gold rush. This is basically what the exchange is. Whether Bitcoin goes up or down, or Ethereum goes up or down, guess what? They make money. So the coins that are associated with those exchanges don't really see too much downside action when the markets aren't too strong. But guess what? When the markets are strong and you start to go and run in and buy and start trading and all of retail floods back into the market, they go straight to the exchanges where they start to spend their money. So as soon as the markets start to pick up and look more exciting, the exchanges are the ones that benefit the most. And let me show you this. In the last bull market, from the 26th of October, Bitcoin went up 456%. In the same time, roughly, the Binance coin went up 20x. Okay? As you can see, over the last few years, every time Bitcoin starts to look bullish, guess what? Binance coin also goes bullish. And when it pulls back, it doesn't pull back that significantly when compared with other coins. But I don't think that Binance coin is the one to be getting into. Why? It's got a massive market cap. But guys, look at some of the other coins and how they've been reacting to positive price action in Bitcoin. This is BGB, which is the BitGet token. BitGet, reasonably big exchange. Some of you use it, I'm sure. As you can see, from October till the end of last year, it did an 8x in just a few weeks. It literally, as Bitcoin started to look bullish from the start of September, it started to go up. Guess what? BitGet goes absolutely crazy as well. So if you're speculating on right now whether Bitcoin starts to rally, guess what? The exchanges literally will rally very aggressively as soon as Bitcoin goes. This is MEXC, which is the MEXC token. Guys, I'm not telling you to buy into all of these. Okay, be patient. I'm going to go and show you probably the ones that I think are probably the best value right now based on the statistics that I show you. Not on my personal feeling, okay? Not on anything that you're thinking right now, but simply based on the numbers. This is MEXC token. You can see back in February 2026, market looked pretty positive for Bitcoin. MEXC token outperformed Bitcoin to the top of that peak, doing a 6x. In the same period of time, Bitcoin only did a 4x. Actually, not particularly massive outperformance. You can see it then pulls back, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of last year, when markets started to look good again, MEXC showed some strength. But you can see that MEXC didn't actually show huge amounts of strength compared to others, and there's a reason for that. The fees charged on MEXC are pretty much 0%. They're pretty much the cheapest fees across any particular exchange. So it probably makes that MEXC isn't the best investment, but in my opinion, MEXC Exchange is probably one of the best out there. It's linked down below in the description. It comes with 0% fees, and it has over 4,000 different altcoins. And MEXC is probably one of the best exchanges to use, but MEXC token probably not the best one to buy into. Where else should we look? Well, what about crypto.com? You can see that crypto.com in the last bull market, every time Bitcoin showed intent to go higher, crypto.com reacted very positively, doing a 4x. And in the second run of things, in the full-blown altcoin season, we saw a 10, nearly 11x. These coins will tend to do very well when everyone's rushing towards the exchanges. Right now, no one's really on the exchanges, okay? The volume is incredibly low compared to where everyone else is, okay? Because Bitcoin's just been going sideways for 4 weeks. This means that you've already bought the altcoins that you wanted to buy, or if you're new to crypto, you probably already panic sold the dip. You're wondering when to get back in. Typically, you will get back in when the markets start to rally, and then this is when these exchanges start to pump. So how do I know which exchange token I should be investing in? Because so far, the ones that I've showed you probably don't look that exciting. Well, that's fine, okay? Let's look at coinmarketcap.com, and if you go to exchanges, you can compare the exchanges. Now, you might want to compare these for different reasons, like maybe you want to go and use these to buy into different coins. But here's the thing. I want you to look at these exchanges and look at the trading volumes and then look at the market caps. Okay, the market cap of these particular exchanges versus the trading volume is the key. And I don't mean the market cap of the exchange, I mean the market cap of the token. Right now, the Binance trading volume is $18 billion every 24 hours. which is quite a lot of money. And then as you go down the list, you've got Bybit at like 1.8 billion, Coinbase 2.3. These exchanges have nowhere near the volume that is going through Binance on any given day. As we come down through the list, MEXC, $3 billion of volume. Then down the list, you get others with much lower volumes as well. So you're probably thinking right now that Binance Coin must have a big market cap. And you'd be right. Okay, Binance Coin has a $90 billion market cap. But remember, it's doing $18 billion a day, which means in 4 days, its volume is as big as its market cap. Just use that as a reference. It doesn't actually mean that the coin should be worth more or less. Okay, just use that as the reference. If we go and think about other ones, like BitGet token, you can see BitGet, the exchange, has $2.6 billion of daily volume. Then we can see that the market cap is $5.7 billion, which means in just 2 days, the volume is the size of BitGet's market cap. Okay, so this is 2 versus the 5 that the Binance one was, which arguably would show that BitGet is undervalued versus the Binance token. But what if we go down the list and we think about which other exchanges are probably up and coming? Well, where would be the best place to find what exchanges are doing a lot of work right now and bringing in a lot of users? Probably it's to go and look at the place that you came across your exchange that you use on a daily basis. And I would imagine it's probably from an influencer who's been talking about those exchanges. Now, there's a reason influencers talk about exchanges. You're probably aware there's an affiliate commission involved for influencers when they talk about exchanges. And pretty much every exchange offers a similar kind of commission, right? So basically each influencer will just talk about the exchanges that they like to use the most. I personally use WEEX, Bitunix, and MEXC. All of these are linked down below. All of these don't require KYC. All of them have a huge amount of different altcoins, and they have some of the lowest fees. That's why I like them. That's why I work with them. And if you go down below and you look at different people, different influencers, you will go and find the different exchanges that they're talking about. Okay, so what you can identify if you go and look at enough of these guys, you will see that certain exchanges start to creep up and get talked about more. One of which is one I've talked about more recently, and that is WEEX. And if you come down through the list, you can find something really interesting. WEEX daily volume is at $1.4 billion. Now, you might have noticed that I've missed out a lot of different exchanges here. Why have I done it? Because many of them don't have any tokens. Okay, Crypto.com does have a token. We looked at it earlier. But I've noticed down here, WEEX has a $1.4 billion volume, which actually is pretty big compared with a lot of the tokens that are above it, which means there's decent volume happening over on this exchange right now. The WEEX token market cap is $106 million. $106 million, but its volume is 1.4 billion when compared with BGB, which was up here, it's 2.6 billion. It's doing more than half the trading volume of BitGet, but its market cap is 100 mil rather than BitGet's market cap of something like 5 billion. Okay, so this tells me then that BitGet is 50x bigger in terms of market cap than the WEEX token. And this to me is where it becomes interesting. You're thinking, well, yeah, why would I ever buy an MX token or a WEEX token or whatever? Because I don't know what utility it has. Well, in a bull market, here's what's going to happen. Lots of exchanges will increase their fees. They'll increase all the different services and exciting ways you've got to stake and earn money and all these other ways to interact. And guess what? You get better fees, you get more services and better features by buying that token. Therefore, when lots of people are using these exchanges and when people start to arrive in the market and the bull market arrives and there's lots of excitement going on, these exchanges that are showing us right now that they have good volume and excitement will encourage the users on their exchange to buy the token. Therefore, WEEX to me makes a lot of obvious sense. And no, guys, I'm not sponsored by this, okay? I do have a deal with WEEX, as I've said, to use the exchange, but I don't have a deal with this token, okay? I'm not being paid to talk about the token. I'm simply telling you that this token seems to be incredibly undervalued. And there are a lot of other smaller tokens that you can go through and use the same process to understand whether or not the token is very undervalued, given the amount of volume. Big volume to me says that there's lots of users on the exchange. Okay, there's lots of users on the exchange. There's a good chance that those users will be encouraged to buy the token once the bull market kicks off. If the market cap of that token is low versus lots of users, there's a good chance that it goes up a lot. Let's have a look at the charts and see whether that's happened in the past. Here we are on the bottom. This is the WEEX token. As you can see, it's a newer exchange. It's part of MEXC. And you can see back in December, not a lot went on, and then it went up like 100% odd in the day. Pretty big. It's now had a nice healthy pullback, okay, and it's now starting to find some support in this area here. Now, WEEX, obviously smaller exchanges, same with everything, smaller market cap, more potential risk. If Bitcoin was to take a dip like this, then, you know, this is where I would be looking to buy into some of these exchanges, okay, but not financial advice, just what I might do. Go and do your own research and all that good stuff. The smaller exchanges will be more volatile, obviously. Bigger exchanges, Binance Coin, etc., are fairly solid when it comes to kind of like dips that they might see versus pumps that they might see. In fact, you can see Binance Coin really hasn't seen significant dips apart from that kind of like the wick that went towards the downside the other day. It's been holding pretty strong. Why? Because Binance has still been making tons of money during this period of time compared with other exchanges. But even if you're not thinking about buying into exchanges and you just don't care about crypto anymore, okay, or you're just waiting for the top of the bull market and you want to know when the top of the bull market's coming, then fine, you're still in the right place. Guess what? Hit the like button and I'll tell you. Okay, right, it's this, and I've only just realized this. The best bull market top indicator that I have found so far is none other than exchanges. Look at the top of the Bitcoin bull market in the last bull market. The crazy blow off top phase for Bitcoin wasn't really that obvious because it was pretty close to the previous highs. And guess what? Kronos, just as an example, I'll show you the other exchanges in a moment, had this crazy wick towards the upside. Okay, it rallied so aggressively. When these exchange tokens are the highest they've ever been and significantly pumping towards the upside, you should really start to think about de-risking, because this is showing at this point that everyone is rushing in to try and buy and trade all the time. This is probably the best bull market top indicator I've seen. What else? If you go to MX, okay, which is the MEXC token, look, perfectly, this here marks the blow off top phase, okay, on the Bitcoin chart. Here, again, this one here, blow off top phase, Bitcoin chart. This is the most ridiculous ones I've seen. If you start to see massive wicks towards the upside on your exchange tokens, then it's probably a good time to start thinking about getting yourself out of the crypto markets post haste, okay? And you can see this again, Binance Coin, BNB, look at the crazy spike towards the upside. As soon as this starts to dump towards the downside, we get Bitcoin, everything starts to sell off. Again, here you can see Binance Coin tops out after very aggressive rallies. This is definitely something you should be paying attention to. I recommend that you just keep your eye on the exchanges tab, thecoinmarketcap.com. Big indicators for bull market tops when Binance and Coinbase and other applications become the most downloaded apps on the App Store, on whatever else. Okay, good indicator that every retailer and his dog is in the market trying to buy up. This is when you want to be starting to clear out the markets. Right now, when everyone's like panicking and selling and getting out the markets, this is when you want to buy. Okay, this is when you want to buy, sell when the markets are pumping. And a good time to buy into crypto is when a lot of the exchanges are looking a little bit on the kind of the bearish side. Okay, so MX down here, looking a little bit on the scary side. If we look at WEEX, okay, again, looks scary. Remember, it's all designed to look scary to make you panic and get out the markets. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Go away and do your own research. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video and it was useful for you. As I've told you already, if you want to go and trade cryptocurrencies and buy different crypto coins, then do it right now in the exchanges with the cheapest fees. Those ones I use MEXC, link down below. Also, I use Bitunix and I also use WEEX. I use these 3 different exchanges. Why? Because they have pretty much every coin I could ever want on. They have huge amounts of different coins. They have the lowest fees and good liquidity as well as that. And as well, if you want to go and invest in their tokens, then use the exchanges and then you benefit from holding the tokens. You get airdrops, etc. So for example, on WEEX, you get an airdrop for holding the token. On MEXC, I believe you also get airdrops and access to their kind of launch pad and other stuff like that. Okay, all makes perfect sense. Guys, if you made it this far through the video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you can, leave a comment down below as well. It really helps this video to gain more traction and it helps me to build my channel as big as possible, which, to be honest, is my only goal in this crypto bull market. Thanks for watching. Have a great week and I will see you very soon with another update. Bye-bye.